I think we had our best week of practice ever again. So if our goal is to get better day by day, it's been a good week. We're not super deep, so we can't just run these guys into the ground. I think we've gone far enough with making some certain improvements that we can afford to let the guys recover a little bit, and we'll try to be smart the rest of the year.
Why was it your best week, do you think?
I kind of said a few times, I think the Purdue game was a real turning point for us from a culture standpoint. Everybody seems happy, seems to be fighting together, seems to get what it takes to do little things the right way, to give yourselves a chance. And the detail's been better. I think the effort's been better. Understanding of what we're trying to accomplish and scheme-wise is getting better. So there's a lot of things that the guys have improved.
Isaac hit a couple nice punts last Saturday. Did you see that coming from him in practice? Was he hitting them pretty well?
You know, both guys do a good job in practice, but we're going to go with Isaac. We've had too many big plays on that team against us. We're last in the country right now in starting field position on offense. We're close to the bottom in starting field position on defense. Some of that is due to needing to get 3 and outs on defense, needing to get turnovers, needing to create short fields for the offense. Offense doing a better job of sustaining so we can give the defense longer fields, but a big part of that's special teams too. And we're going to do everything we can to give ourselves a better chance in shorter fields on both sides.
Are you closer than some might think on special teams to getting it to where you want it to be?
I don't know what people think. We're nowhere near where I want to be. Some of that has to do with just needing more guys that can cover kicks well, that can block for kicks well. Some of that's better effort, some of that's better decisions. And I thought it got better last week other than spotting them the ball on the 50 a couple times with some bad plays on the punt team. I thought it got better. But it's hard to have 500 yards of offense and lose. We've done it 3 times, and a lot of that's because when you have to go 85, 90 yards with the ball every time, you're going to get yards, but it's hard to score. And I think our offense is good enough that we get some short fields, it'll make the game different.
You're not probably where you want to be third down wise. Do you have a threshold? Like, what do you consider a successful rate on third down?
We do, and it depends on third and short, third and medium, third and long. One of the big problems is we've been in way too many third and longs. Part of that is penalties. Part of that is bad decisions, and our offense right now is good enough to look really good on a couple plays and then make a bad play where somebody doesn't execute or we get a penalty and we put ourselves behind the sticks, and we're not quite good enough to overcome that yet. So there's a lot of things that factor into that, and it isn't like you can just address one of them.
Do you see some true freshmen who are, kind of motivated by that rule that could allow them to maybe, if they impress you guys, get on the field in November or something like that? Is that carrot for them to chase?
Absolutely, and I think we got quite a few guys that'll kind of fit into that category at the end of the year, guys that we could get out there and get some experience, wait until later in the year when they're ready. One of the unfortunate things is a bunch of the guys that would fit in that category aren't healthy. Casey Rogers is down right now, Tate Wilderman's down right now, Cam Jones is down right now, Cam Jurgens is hurt right now. So there's a bunch of guys we would love to get that experience in games at the end of the year that we just can't. But we will with the ones that are able to go.
All those guys kind of out for the year, close to out for the year?
No, it's not necessarily the year. A couple of them are, but a couple of them are a few weeks. There's a chance a guy or two out of that list could be back and ready to go by the end of the year, but we've just gotten some bad breaks with some of those guys' health.
With Jurgens, was that just in the last couple of days?
Yeah, Jurgens was on Monday. Yeah.
Is that the same foot that he had problems with last year?
No. He just got his cleat caught in the grass and broke a metatarsal in his foot. I think it's going to be about a month, I think.
Gerard Woodyard played maybe third most among the receivers on Saturday. What have you seen from him recently to allow him to get on the field?
Woody's got all the talent that you need to play the position. It would have been great for him if we could have got him in December and he'd have had spring ball, because really what's holding him back is just understanding where to line up and how to run his route and the detail and assignment. And he's getting better every week, but you got to be able to do that on the vast majority of plays to stay out there, and he's getting close.
Anything else?
Coach, In terms of the game plan for Northwestern, it looks like they're going to have to be a little more one-dimensional, like as they lost their running back. How does that kind of factor in for you guys?
We'll see. I don't want to say they're going to be one-dimensional because they've been a really good running team before. I don't know how much of the run versus pass ratio for them was their situation or how much of it was the teams they were playing. So we got to be good against the run. Wins start with being able to run the ball and stop the run. And I don't really think they're going to be one-dimensional. If they are, then we need to do a good job in the pass game, and they're really efficient at that.
You have a sense of just how many Nebraska fans are going to be there traditionally when they played at Northwestern? There's been 15 to 20,000 fans.
I hope there's a lot. I know that's the MO for Nebraska fans. Chicago's a place that people from Nebraska live and are near. Nebraska. Chicago's a place that people from here would go visit. So I hope there's a lot of red in the stadium. We're planning on it. We're not going to use a silent snap count. So we need Nebraska fans to show up.
Scott, there was when Greg left earlier in the week, he tweeted a list of teams that, and it was mostly opponents that you play. Oregon State was on there too. Is there a reason for that? I mean, obviously you've had a few guys that have gone to that school.
Well, I was questioned a little earlier in the year, and I say it wink with a smile when I said right now with the way the transfer rule is, quarters teams are at an advantage. We couldn't get a player in if he wanted to transfer here a week before the season started or right when season started. Some of these quarters teams are still taking them. So I think that's an unintended consequence of the rule they made, but it doesn't create something that's competitively fair and balanced. There's no doubt in my mind that those kids were probably in touch with some people that they formerly knew that were here. It's hard for me to criticize because we still talk to, I talked to Mackenzie Milton last night on FaceTime. It was his birthday. So it's hard for me to criticize that without being hypocritical. But at the same time, if someone is contacting our kids while they're still our kids and trying to get them transferred, then I'm not going to be a fan of that continuing to happen. And I'm not saying it did happen, but 2 weeks from now, the transfer rule changes and you can't block anybody. So it's kind of a moot point.
What do you think is going to happen on that day when it opens up and all they got to do is tell you that I'm transferring and anybody can go?
Well, we'll see what happens. It's already gotten a little messier this year. I'm sure it'll continue to get messy. The bottom line is, in this day and age, a lot of people want what they want and they want it now. And there's not a lot of patience. There's not a lot of willingness to fight through, to change your circumstances. People have a tendency just to think the grass might be greener somewhere else. I hope it doesn't become the Wild West in college basketball with everybody transferring, but we're all going to have to figure out how it looks and do the best with what we have.